I'm Rebecca.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Nessa.
This is the Family Showdown! Hello and welcome to my top 100 games of all time 2020 version. In 2021. That's a really long title. We'll probably work on that. But we are kicking it off today with our 100 through 91. So hopefully you've already seen our Tuesday show where we talked about setting it up and getting started and saw the 10 that didn't quite make the list. They squeaked. The squeakers. We're going to talk about the ones that did make the list and are therefore that much more awesome. Because everything on this list is awesome.
That
awesome.
is yet to be determined.
Oh, no. It has already been determined and has been printed out as so. So, number 100. I think it's appropriate. It's a nice round number. And at that century mark is a classic game that actually, incidentally, is over 100 years old. You can hear the hint of Hunter's deafening bell inside the pit game. I'm holding this because we don't trust him. So, this game is a group game, and this is a very much the more the merrier game. It shot up my list from 155 to exactly 100 this year. So last year it was at 155. It shot back up the list because plays and memories of plays are awesome. And this game always comes around. And for a while it'll start to drop again, and then we have more awesome plays. It kind of does this little fluctuating thing on our lists over the years. And
on your list over the years.
Yes, on my list. Sorry. Hunter has slowly just hated this more and more, apparently. It's just slowly dropping off his list in a
very slowly dropping.
What's it at now?
66.
Actually, that's awesome. So, but all you're doing in this game, it's so simple. You have a really loud, obnoxious bell, okay? But you have a whole mess of cards. I'll show you. They're so cute. Very simple. Don't touch that bell. Okay, our cards are beat up. So beat up. Look at these things. But you're moving them so quickly that you don't notice, you don't care. And they'll probably get beat up some more. Because on the other side, you have just picture and you've got some different commodities, okay? Not too exciting. Oats, corn, coffee, okay? But each next to them, they have numbers. And that's how many points you can get if you get a set of that number. A set is a lot of cards, though. And so you're doing a lot of trading back and forth by screaming how many cards you want to trade. So if I have 2 cards I want to trade, I will be yelling 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Hopefully someone else will be yelling 2. Then you guys can exchange cards at a frantic pace. You look at them, you see if we got, do I have 9 oats yet? Nope. Okay, let me trade out some more of this nonsense. I have 1, 1, 1, 1. You do this at the speed of light, and usually at, like, way high decibels. Don't quit. He keeps eyeballing this bell. Already a troublemaker. And you do this until someone finally has their set. They slam down the cards, ring the bell, usually diving across the table to do so. It gets really, really out of control. And that is Pit. And it is so much... There's a silent version. We've never even tried to master that. No point.
That version doesn't exist.
That version doesn't exist.
It's a good game. I love it.
He loves it more than me,
It is
apparently.
creeping down my list. You're correct, but... That's just...
It's funny because it does. It just fluctuates in and out, and but it's always there. It's always on my list somewhere.
It's always on your mind.
It's always... I feel like singing. All right, that's number 100.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, you're doing your checking it off like you did last year?
Yep, so that I can have a heart attack when certain ones don't show up later.
Oh, and there's plenty because I was looking. It's going to be fun. Okay, so 100's off the list. Let's look at number 99. This dropped a little bit, which is odd to me. I think it's because there's so many awesome games that I jigsawed into this top 100 puzzle. Because it is still a strong favorite, and that is Fog of Love. As a matter of fact, we just recently played another section of this Had a blast with it. We're looking forward to playing a live version again with you guys at some point. Probably, what did we think about Valentine's Day? So coming fairly soon. And this is a romantic comedy game where you are not yourself, but somebody else, and you get to be this person, and you're trying to have a relationship with another person, and that's the thing, it could be the goal is to stay together. The goal may not be. You're hoping your goals match. You're trying to match your traits up and get points by doing certain things and responding to certain situations the way your character should to get the maximum points. Which, of course, hilarity ensues because you must role play the events. I can't really pull this out because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but there's a lot of different cards and they have different traits and things, and you get a job and you have traits, and you when we first start setting up the game, we have these cards that there's traits, and what's the other one called? Occupation. No, they're the other one, because there's things attributes. That's the other one. Traits and attributes. They're basically the same thing, but some of them you pick yourself, and then the other one the partner gives to you.
The attributes are more physical.
Yeah.
The traits are more
like personality wise and things like that. Yeah. And it's a riot. The situations are goofy, and you're drawing these cards. They're situation cards, and you have to talk them out or whatever and act them out. There's been really ridiculous things. If you want to see some of the insanity, we have 2 plays of it already online that you can go look at. They're pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it's my 131, which is really good for this kind of game.
Yeah, this is not normally your kind of game, right?
But this isn't a rated G.
No, this is not. This is not a family game.
This is about relationships and interactions between people and
adults,
stuff like that.
Consenting adults.
Yes. So it's definitely PG-ish. Or
13 plus.
Something like that.
There may be some... yeah, it's at least PG-13. At least.
Okay.
At least. Yeah, not even on a... I'm being very nice to that. It's probably closer to R in some spots. But
What?
I seem
It's
to
a
recall...
family-friendly show.
Well, that's why I can't describe all the excitement, but you can watch that video. It's pretty funny. All right, so that's Fog of Love. It was my... Again, it dropped. It was my 84 before. My pen's dying. All right, my number 98 moved up 2 places. It was 100 last year. Do you remember what it was?
No.
No, because I didn't. That is Village.
All right.
Okay. So Village was my 100. Moved up a couple spaces. I think it's just the shifting of all the games and whatnot. But this is a really fun little worker placement game. It's more realistic. You're village people. And you're village people. What? Not those village people. You're people in a village. There are no cops and no firefighters in this village, okay? But what you do have is villagers that apparently they get old and they die.
They do die. So
you need to plan ahead, do some things, and when they get ready to kill off, you don't want to take those that are older and put them into a long-term thing like moving through, there's like a church path and there's traveling paths and all these different things. You may not want to put them in those because if they die, they lose their place. There's no way, you can't just send somebody to replace them. The new person has to start from scratch themselves. So you want somebody young and has more energy that's going to make it through the long haul stuff probably later on for some of the long-term things. But you can send them out for short-term goals and starting to build up your little engine that you have. And it's really neat too because there's different cubes, different colored cubes that you're picking up as you go to these worker placement spots, and those help determine what you're going to be able to do at certain places, or helps you pay for certain things. It is really neat, and time is a factor in this game.
Yeah, it's definitely a resource, and
it is. It's the Reaper. Don't fear the Reaper.
Well, it's basically a resource. You spend it, you're killing off your workers.
Yeah, so you have to be really careful. Is this worth all of this time to get this accomplished? Is it worth the victory points and that? Because you're sacrificing your people.
And there's certain ways that you can pay more resources to take less time. So that's one way to go. Or if you just want to get it done, or you don't have the resources, you pay more time, right?
Yep. And again, choices. All about the choices. Trying to keep your village going. Very, very.
Yep. My game. 72. So
nice.
General ballpark area.
General. Yep. This one I suspect will not be on Hunter's list.
Okay.
And what's funny is this one rocketed up. It's been slowly disappearing for a while. We haven't played it much as our game group, really. But recently, well, I say recently. Within the last time since I've done this list.
Within the last year.
Yeah. Students, game group, and all that, we played Betrayal, House on the Hill. Okay, we also... I have not played Betrayal Legacy yet, and I really, really, really want to. But I did play Betrayal Baldur's Gate, so I'm putting them both together with this, because I played all of these with the student board game group. And so this launched itself from 233 on my list last year, back up here to 97. Okay, yes, I know some of you are going to look at me and be like, but this game, you can break it easily, it's got some fidgety bits and this and that. Okay,
Hey, you know what? You can break this game easily.
It doesn't have fidgety
And
bits?
it has fidgety bits.
That's why we don't listen to some naysayers over that. You know what, though? I don't know why I've never cared about that. It's never bugged me that we'd have to figure out some of the broken bits, because this game is hilarious and it's fun. And Baldur's Gate fixes a lot of that stuff, and it's fun on top of that. So if you like the fantasy theme, it's really cool. The haunted house theme, though, it's fantastic. So you're going in, you got your team of people, and you all have, there's old professor, and there's the little girl, and there's big buff jock guy, and silly little cheerleader girl. I don't remember who all we have. I don't remember. There's some kind of stock characters, though. And you have your own stats. You have a mental strength and a physical strength, if I remember right. And
Yeah, 4 stats.
yeah, you have like 4 stats. It is like 2 of mental and 2 of physical.
Right.
And you're going in and you're exploring as much of the house as possible before the house turns. Because when the house turns, that means that somebody or something, or even the house itself, turns evil and tries to kill you all. And you have to find this way to conquer it and get out of the house before it gets you, whatever that it is. And it can be lots of different things. There's a whole little book of scenarios for it. And it's very situational. I love it because I think we've only ever had an overlap where I was like, wait a minute, I think we've had this scenario one time and I've played it quite a bit. Because it always happens in different rooms. It depends
on the room and the item that triggers
it. The item that triggers it, who triggers it. It determines all this different stuff. It's really, really neat, and there's a lot of variety to it. Really funny scenarios. Some of them are really actually kind of creepy. Like, they did a really good job with it. I think it's a lot of fun. It's always funny to see who ends up getting to be a bad guy, or if anyone. If you're fighting against some random force in the house or the house itself, sort of. There's a lot of goofy scenarios to it. And again, sometimes you didn't explore enough of the house. And so you have to continue to explore the house to find that one room that has the item in it that can save you. So there's some things that can make it kind of hairy at the end, right?
Well, yeah, sometimes, the scenario just runs really well and it really sings. And
it's
I
fun.
really love the game when it does that.
Yeah.
But there are also times where you go, at the end, the good guys win, it's over. Or the bad guys, you have no chance of defeating.
Yeah, because they're just super powerful.
Just for the situation that you happen to be in.
Yeah.
Which I guess is, if you're watching a B movie, I guess occasionally the good guys do get beat by the bad guy. So.
And you're usually rooting for the bad guy in those particular
movies.
But
when it works, when everything works and comes together, it's awesome.
It is. It's really fun.
You're kind of rolling the dice whether you're going to get that or not. And that's why I don't like it as much.
Yeah.
Because there's times when you just go, we can't win.
Now, one thing that, and I don't know if they fixed this in the later games or not, but one thing that was a huge problem for us, and those of you that probably have the same version of the game will understand completely, that your stats are on this little thing. And they gave you these clips that don't actually fit. So what we did to fix that, because they'd slide, you'd barely bump the table or something, and you'd lose your stats. And if you didn't have them memorized, you're out of luck. So we got those little tiny paper clips from like Michael's, little tiny hobby paper clips, and that way they clip on there, and you could see exactly where your stats were, and you actually have to physically unclamp them to move them, and that made a huge difference. And so, and it was neat too. The house has several different levels to it. There's a basement, there's an attic, there's all these different places for you to explore. It's fun. I enjoy it highly. I was trying to fix that. Help me. Don't help me.
Good enough.
Okay. Look at him helping me. But yeah, it's fun. Again, I know you don't like it as much, but meh.
I just don't like that the ending. You have to go through so much of the game to find out whether the ending is going to be good or not. And I really don't want to risk.
But the exploration's kind of fun too.
It
Because
is.
you're looking at all the weird little rooms, and sometimes
I'm just old and bitter. I want my games to work all the time.
So he plays the cranky old man.
I'm so
No, I
mean.
get it. No,
I want my games to work all the time.
No, I get it. No, I get it. And that's a source of frustration for a lot. I don't know why. It's just because that usually really bothers me too, to be completely honest. There's something about that game though that I just don't care. It doesn't bother me with that. So my next game dropped. This is one of my drops. It dropped from 46 to 96.
Wow.
I think because it kind of flew under our radar. Because as I was going back and looking at it, I was like, you know what? We haven't played this in a while, and it's a really good game.
Yep.
And it's kind of gotten forgotten, and that was Gugong.
Yeah.
I hope I'm saying that right.
I'm surprised you
Gugong?
didn't put this on your to-be-played list.
It was, I think.
Oh, really? We just
didn't get to it.
Yeah.
And this is such a cool game, and it's definitely medium heavy. It's got a lot of thinky bits to it. So what you're doing in here, obviously you're going for victory points, but you're also trying to earn the Emperor's favor. And doing that in different ways. So the board, let me show you this, because once again, we've got a crazy board that...
Oh, you're going to break it.
I'm not going to
you're going to break it.
I know how to unfold it, maybe.
No,
it's broken.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
No!
You just broke our board.
I did not. You're so terrible. Okay, so you see this? You've got all this going on. All of this. But each area does something else. It kind of reminds me in a little bit, kind of like Trajan, where there's like different kind of game things going on. Each area, you're doing something different to try to achieve something so that you get all these different victory points. So that's what's going on with that. Can you remember how to fold it? The answer to that is no. Oh, look at that. Woo! Okay. So it's a lot of managing those resources, deciding when should I give the Emperor a really good present and get some really awesome stuff, but then it kills a lot of my good resources and everything for later? Or should I do kind of a meh present, get some meh stuff, and be able to do more with my turn? That's really what the heart of this is that balance, finding the good balance of when to do what. Because it's all about, again, getting good numbers on your dice, when to use what you want to do with the things that you have.
Well, really, it comes down to hand management.
And hand management, big time.
Managing your gifts, right?
The gifts are... Because what you
give
do
a
that,
crappy
you turn
gift
them in.
and you don't get much, but then you probably get a really good card in exchange for a future turn to do better, or you use a really good card this turn and then get a crappy card for later on.
Because what you're doing when you do that is you're trading out with whatever happens to be there, too.
Right.
So it could be something really good, or it could be something horrible. So, yeah, you got to really decide how much you want something.
Yeah, we haven't played this one in a long while.
We haven't, and it's sad because it is so... It's a really good game. It's really a good game. It's in that 90-minute sweet spot. It plays 1 to 5 players. I think this would actually be for solo people. I think this would be a really good one for solo peeps because it seems very thinky, puzzly.
I don't play solo games.
Yeah, but anyways, 90 minutes. It's magical. It plays great 2-player. I don't think we've played this other than 2-player, though, have we? No. So there you are.
116.
Yeah, see, so it's not that far off.
Too. It dropped 36 for me. It dropped how much for you?
From 46 to 96, so 50.
Yeah, so yeah, it's...
It dropped
just
a lot.
haven't played it in a while.
I think,
we probably need to play it again.
It flew under the radar, because, yeah, as soon as I thought about it, I was like, you know what? Really, that may reach a little more equilibrium.
Because we played it a couple of times when it first came out. I don't think we've played it since.
Not much, yeah. So, my next one on the list, my number 95, brand spanking new.
What?
And it was quite a surprise for me, and I have a feeling it's going to keep going up. I don't think this is a Cult of the New thing. Because we just recently played Lost Ruins of Arnak, and it was way better than I expected. Like, super excited about this game. So, this is as close to an Indiana Jones game as you could pretty much get, except for like Temple of Chalk. I think some of you recall we were chatting about that live a couple of weeks ago. But you really are doing an Indiana Jones kind of like thing. You're going in and you're exploring these areas and managing your resources. Sometimes you have to fight off these guardians if you're going to really cool areas, and you've got to be able to defeat those to be able to get the loot and get it back. But in the meantime, you've got some massive management. You got to manage. The game is incredibly tight with resources and the time required. It's a deck builder and a worker placement. I wasn't sure that was going to be a really cool combo, even though that is 2 of my favorite mechanisms. But it was a really cool combo. It's really a tight game, and I loved building it. So what happens is you're going through, and let me show you this. This is another monster board. Everybody's in love with these monster boards anymore. It's so funny. You gonna show off the monster board?
Well, yeah, and it's even, you have to get the extension.
Oh
it's
my gosh, I forgot about that. Forgot about that. So here's the board, and you get a bunch of different artifact cards and things at the top. No, you're not. You were right side up.
Okay.
And so you got cards that you can get up there, and you can buy these every round and everything. But up here we've got expensive and difficult places to explore, some medium level, and here's the practically free areas to explore. Not really going to battle any guardians here. These could have guardians all over. And then down here,
have guardians.
The bottom lower?
The very, very bottom, where one level lower is the free stuff. Go down one more level.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, they're easy to get to, but they have a guardian too. But they're easier to defeat, I think. And then here is where you can get some free resources, and this is where the resource management comes in, because you also, in your deck, are going to want to get things that help give you those things and help you with draw power. I heard a lot of people complaining online about the draw power problem in this game. Well, the trick is you need to seek out some of those cards, I really think, if you want to go through your deck, because there's not a ton of them. They're kind of at a premium. And on the right side of the board that Hunter showed you, there's a little ladder of stuff, and you pay these to move up to the next level, and as you keep going, you get cool free stuff on the side that kind of helps you. You get victory points and things to help you on your path to victory, and you get up to the top and you get some mad victory points and stuff that help you out.
Yeah, what she didn't show you is this is the bottom. You add this to the bottom.
Yeah, this is a huge board. It's crazy.
This is really just resources for the most part. So
yeah, it's mostly a resource table. You could put this really anywhere, really.
Well, it has a starter for the bottom of the track.
Yeah. So, I mean, we keep it there, but, I mean, you wouldn't have to. I mean, after you start it.
Yeah, so this is one of the 2 big card-driven worker placement games that came out in 2020, and it's getting a lot of praise, a lot of buzz,
getting a lot of love. Oh, I love it. I love it. As soon as we finished it, I really wanted to play it again.
Well, I just took a little sneak peek, kind of a peek, because we played this after our maiden list. I think this would land in the 30s for me.
Wow! See, I think this is going to go up for me too.
It's probably land in the 30s. I just guess, just to get a quick look.
No, I see that.
I was a little bit 30s for
I was
me.
a little bit probably conservative with this one, just because we hadn't played it as much yet. And there's so many games that I know I really, really love, and I want this. I think this one's going to grow on me. I suspect we're going to meet in the middle somewhere with that.
Yeah, I really like. I like worker placement. I like deck building, not as much as she does. But what I really liked about it is when we first sat down to play, we looked at it. We played like the first couple of first round, and we're like, how are we going to do anything in this game? We're not going to call. And in the end, we're like, I got all this stuff. What am I going to do with all these resources?
It really ramps up, and it is. It's crazy because at first I'm like, how are we going to Indiana Jones this?
And we really didn't open up a lot of worker. But when you go out and explore, you open up new worker placement spots. We only opened up like 3 or 4 of those.
You can revisit those,
right?
And opening them takes a bit of work. And you're right. I'm really excited to play this multiplayer at some point because of that. We were talking about.
Yeah, you have lots of
more
places
to go. So. Believe the hype. It's really fun.
Yeah.
But again, it's heavy. This is not
it's a heavy game.
This is not a light game. This is medium heavy to heavy.
It plays really quick. It's like
it does.
And
it
like
plays
an hour
smoothly.
game for us. So
yeah, I think it says 30 minutes a player.
30
per player. And I think that's pretty accurate because once you get it, I mean, your turns can really snap through. Because you can be starting to plan and work on that while someone's doing their turn. It's not like they completely change the board and you have nothing to plan from. So that's really nice.
Yep, I want to play that one again.
I do too. In fact, turn off the camera. We're going to play. No, just kidding. So, all right, my next one is my number 94. And I'm pretty sure this isn't on Hunter's list either.
Nope.
Or if it is, it's low.
Nope.
It was.
You barely see the top of it over there.
Yeah. It was my 73 last year. It has dropped to my 94. But I still love the Finka.
You and your family games.
I know. And you know what's funny? As I said before, I specifically did this list with just being rudely like with everybody's opinions. Because this is my list. But
you still like this one, huh?
I still really like this one. There's something fun. I think it was kind of the same thing that appealed to the girls, and one of the reasons the girls liked it so much is it's just, besides the fact that it's just
easy breezy.
It is, though. And you still get to do some strategy. You still get to plan yourself. It's not like the game plays itself, but it's not super difficult, and it's fun to teach people this game. And I'm not a fan of teaching complicated games to people. I'm always afraid I'm going to screw something up with that, and I just don't enjoy it. So playing a game like this, where it's got a normal sized board. I can put this on a table pretty much anywhere and teach somebody that. The resources all kind of fit on here, and then you've got these little tiles that have requests. They want certain orders, and there's a stack of them. You get through to the stack, and then you can get this area, and it's kind of victory points. Yeah, see, there's your selections, and so it's different every game. You're moving around here to get your resources. I love the way that the movement is treated, because you get the number of resources of how many meeples happen to be on the space that you land on. I love that. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Look at all the different fun bits. There's olives and oranges and lemons, and I think that weird thing's a fig. But they're funky. But they have those. You're going around collecting those and trying to get sets for endgame victory points and stuff. It's just really cute.
You know what I find most shocking about this game?
What?
You still have the insert in the box.
You know, we usually grab this and go... That is weird. But you know what? The insert's not... It kind of does the trick. It's not...
Yeah.
This one actually sort of functions. But it's a cute game. It's really fun. Medium. It's
I enjoy
45-minute game. That's about right. And I've played this mostly 3-player, believe it or not, and it works really well. That way it works 2-player. I think 3 and 4 really sing, though, because you really get moving with it. It's fun 3-player. I love playing a 3-player. So.
Yep. It's all right.
It's all right. I love it. Stop pushing my list off. But yeah, it's gosh, we've only had it for a couple of years now.
Yeah, we...
Because it was out of print at first,
It was out of print. It got kickstarted. We missed the Kickstarter, and I got it secondhand. I think the Kickstarter was in 2018.
Yeah, it was a year or two ago, for sure.
I want to say 2018.
We're in 2021 now.
Yeah, 2018. Yep.
Yep, 18. Yeah, so hopefully you can find this around.
Because we played it at a con just after the Kickstarter ended. So as soon as we were done with the con, I went shopping for people that didn't want it.
Yeah, the girls and I found this game. We're like, let's play this. And we played it, and the girls were loving it. And I was like, this is really fun. We played it again and again and again. And we got it from the library like twice and played it multiple times each time. Dragged you into it, made you play it, and you're like, okay.
Hey, but you didn't mention something very important. Bring the box back.
What?
This version of the game includes El Razul.
Have we even played with
No.
him?
It's a mini expansion, I think. It's funny.
We like the base game. I mean, just honestly.
El Razul. I don't know how to
We don't even know El Razul. It's El Razul.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like Mark Street.
Hold on.
Does he not? He's wearing a hat just like Mark.
Mark Street. Hold on.
Mark's going to be like,
I'm
what?
curious. I know I'm making your video go long. Apparently.
No, that's okay.
Apparently, there's a little El Razul figure in here somewhere.
What? No. How did we miss that? The cat steal it? Oh, he's in there, isn't he? I think I saw... No?
No, those are just regular.
Maybe it's missing.
Where's the El Razul?
Did someone steal Razul? Oh, wait a minute. Is this a... Nah, it's not that dude. Okay.
That's an El Razul.
Oh, he's in here. He's just a cardboard dude.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so disappointed.
I'm sad now.
Got all hyped up for El Razul.
Oh, yeah. He's got like a little pitchfork, but it looks like a walking stick. That could be Mark Street. It's totally Mark. I'm going to have to tell him. I'll be like, look.
He's in Finka?
Yeah, you're in Finka, dude.
El Razul.
El Razul.
Mark El Razul.
Mark El Razul.
Yep, not on my list because, yeah.
Because it's medium.
All right, let's get on to a good game.
Oh, my goodness. So, my next game is going to make Hunter cry.
Oh, dear.
It's dropped from number 68 to number 93, and I think it's just because there's so many games that I'm just like, And I like this game. Part of my enjoyment also comes because somebody really, really, really likes this game. But if I were just to look at it myself, I'm like, this is a fun game. Actually, it's a really good game because I put it at 93, and I'm just pestering him a little bit. It's because it's Western Legends. What number is this for you, sweetie? Sweetie?
What?
What number is this for
How can I help you?
What number is this for you?
Number 6! The 6th best game ever played by me.
It's the 93rd best game played by me.
Boo. Moo.
Moo. Yeah. Okay. This game is so much fun.
It is so much fun.
It's a little Western sandbox, and you've got this. And with the expansion, it gets even crazier.
The expansions.
Oh yeah, it's multiple, isn't it? Yeah, it was. I don't pay attention to that too much. I just know that the base game was really fun, and then we added more craziness to it. So, the cards are multi-purpose, which is really cool. It looks like a deck of poker cards, and you play poker sort of with them. And they also have like attack abilities or special things that you can do with them. I'm just going to show you the cards. I love the backs because they remind me a lot of actual old-time playing cards on the back. I think they look cool. The art form's fantastic. The art's fantastic for this game. You got little Western meeple dudes, and you have individual cowboys that all have different special abilities. So everybody's got their own unique abilities with it, and their own unique person. There's Hunter. I think he's pretending to shoot me. What are you doing? Yes, blasting me with
No.
It's got poker chips. Looks like they're Pro UT.
Those are deluxe-ified things.
See the hook 'em horns on the front?
It's not
burnt orange.
That's not a
That's
horn.
UT. I'm telling you.
Here's your little train.
Here's the little train. Is this the expansion, right?
Yes.
The train expansion. This is so funny. So this little train kind of goes around the track in a cycle, and you can hop on and off of it and get to different places and whatnot using the train. Really cool. Helps you kind of take shortcuts instead of traveling very slowly, because you don't move super fast unless you have the super fast horse. And even then, train can beat that. It's pretty cool. Here's this back. I don't want to smoosh him. I don't know where you had him. There's also certain things that you can get. There's other cards in the game, and those are your items. So you have like a 6-shooter or a donkey instead of a horse that he can carry more loads of gold and stuff with him. There's also a cowboy hat. I think it helps you gamble better. There's like all these different things that help you in different ways. And you can accumulate a certain number of those on your little player thingy. And you're moving around the town. You can go into town and gamble at the casino. You can go and rob a bank. You can go... I mean, it's neat because you can choose your course. Do you want to be a good guy or do you want to be a bad guy? And you've got this... what's the name of the track? It's a Renown...
One's outlaw, one's martial.
Well, yeah, but
Reputation?
Reputation, I think you're right. Reputation. So you're an outlaw or martial track, and you're keeping track of your reputation. So if you're a bad guy, you want to be really bad, so you get really high marks on that track. You get lots of victory points that way. Or if you're going to be a good guy, you want to be very virtuous and get all of the victory points, because the higher up you are on that track, then you're going to do that. So you can go and decide, do I want to rustle these cattle? Or do I want to take these cattle to their proper place to be sold? You can have a change of heart. Either for good or for evil.
Usually because you get arrested.
Yeah, that's usually why you're like, I'm going to start fresh. Yeah. There's not much... I could talk about it for quite a while, because there are just so many different combinations of things that you can do with it and travel around and achieve different things, get your victory points, mess with other people, go beat up some random bandits, NPCs that are hiding in a cave nearby. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's truly sandbox. And with the expansion, it has exploration, which a lot of people love exploration, and it was missing in the base game.
It was.
With the expansion, they had another game, Keno or something, some other gambling game. So you have 2 choices in your gambling.
I don't think we've played that yet, have we?
I played it once, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a really, really solid sandbox game. My favorite sandbox game. And yeah, it's really amazing. It's very thematic. Like she said, you can choose to mess with people or not mess with people.
Yeah.
It's really, you can choose to do whatever you want. There's so many decisions, and all of them are pretty valid, I think.
Yeah.
You can complete missions together. You can work together to complete missions. You can complete missions on your own. It's all...
Well, and what's fun, too, it's just because of the way they built the game, like, if you decide to go gambling, if someone else is in the town, area,
Yeah.
they can come gamble with you.
Right. Otherwise, you play against the house.
Otherwise, you play against the house. Just that, and that's it. And it's fun. It's a neat idea. And using those, trying to decide, there's such an angst with that too, because some of those really good cards also have really good attack moves.
Yeah.
So
your best poker cards are your best action cards. So
you're deciding, so if somebody plays a really good game of poker, it's possible that they're going to get beat up when they leave, right, because everyone knows you just played all your good stuff.
All your good action cards.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's so much fun. So,
wow, this doesn't sound like a 93 game.
Have you not been listening? I told you, all of these games are crazy solid. I don't feel like my games got weaker until I was getting close to 200. This is just...
I can understand it being a 9 or a 3. But not a 93.
Oh. All right. So my next one... My last two, actually, are new to the list.
New game.
Yes,
Exciting.
and this one, I have to specifically give a shout out to our dear Kabuki, who I know is going to giggle with joy over this selection for number 92.
I find that you rated. I know what you're talking about. I found interesting that you rated it higher than I did.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't wait. You are a space geek, though.
I am a space geek, and if you haven't figured out what it is by now, Leaving Earth. You may or may not have heard about this game because until Kabuki specifically mentioned it, I had never even heard of this game.
Yeah,
didn't know anything about this game.
It's an indie game, as far as I know. Well, I mean, it has a publisher, but it's not widely published.
Luminaris.
For sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's in this little box that kind of looks like those shirt boxes you could get at the store.
Yes, a little miniature shirt box.
And terrified me because they wrapped the sticker around, so you can't just do this without cutting up the beautiful art. So we did a slice on the side, and we just kind of sandwiched this open because we like the art. This is cool. This is not for the faint of heart. I feel like this is for if you really like space or you like math games.
More than space, like realistic, like space travel.
Yeah, you want to do some real space simulator kind of things and actually put some math into it. This is a really cool game. Now, I'm not a math fan, but I'm a really huge space fan, and getting into a little bit of the logistics and stuff side for that.
See those white sheets?
Yeah. Oh yes, these are wonderful. So Hunter specifically, because these come folded in the box. Hunter printed up.
No, those are people made those.
Oh, did they? Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, I printed them out from BGG.
BGG made life a little bit easier for us because what we do, here's the sheets. So what you're doing, I guess I should tell you what you're doing in this game. You're leaving Earth. I know you're shocked by this, but you're leaving Earth in rockets, okay? It's the space race. We're talking about, in particular here, 1956 to 1976, so you can kind of get an idea of what we're aiming for here. We're starting from 0.
Right.
Okay? So we're talking about launching Sputnik and other things in here, and you're going to do some basic math to help launch it.
Right.
So you're using these sheets and you're like, good grief, why am I doing math worksheets, right? No. Before you turn off the thing here, hold on. Because, and this is the cheat guide. It's very helpful. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a meaty game. It's got a little book. But, see all these cute little wooden bits? I hope you can see those. They're kind of glary, but you got cute little wooden bits. I'll bring it up a little closer so you can see. In there you can see there's the little satellites and rockets and different things, right? There's also these. The devil. Time. Time is a resource.
Not more a resource.
It's more like
a travel time, basically.
Travel time, yeah. It helps you calculate things. And then inside here, you've got some really cool little cards of, well, there's money too. Paper money. But it's cool money because, like, this one is in Russian. And, no, it's awesome. I love this. But you have different end goals. So, for example, I'll show you a couple of things here we have. You could be going to do a survey of Mars. So you're not landing on Mars, but you're going to go launch a little Sputnik-looking thing. And it's going to go spin around Mars, take some pictures and readings, and come back. Or just die in the atmosphere eventually, or whatever. But it's going to submit the stuff, the information to us. And this tells you, like, basically what kind of distance effort is going to be required for that.
Well, it's also you're scoring points.
And you get points too.
Right.
This is how you win. And then you've got the lunar survey, doing the same thing but on the moon. Artificial satellite orbiting the Earth. Putting a man in orbit. Man in space. A sounding rocket. See, there's put a man on the moon. Bringing back a lunar sampling. Okay. Going to Phobos and bringing back a sample. Like, some of them are quite difficult. A little bit beyond us, possibly. Depends on how you build up your space program. So you're building those up and you've got these different rockets. You have to develop scientifically, create these rockets, test them, make sure that they're not going to blow your crew up, and then test and then launch out. Or
just risk it.
You could be like, you know what, I think this is going to work. YOLO, and send your poor guys to their doom.
Explodes.
Yeah, I still remember Hunter was soloing this game, testing it out before I'd even played it, and just from the game room I hear, "No, Armstrong, no!" and his rocket blew up. He lost some astronauts. So, it's all about the risk versus reward versus racing each other to try to get to a certain number of points, try to get certain things achieved, and at the same time, you want to do it safely. Do you want to lose your guys? Is it worth it to you? That kind of thing.
You're limited in time, so
you're limited very much in that time. That time,
and you may be trying to do a mission for someone else, and they're about to launch, so you're going to risk it and launch without testing just to be ahead of them.
And that's the other thing, yeah, because there's enough things that you could all go different directions, but odds are the streamlined way to the most victory points everybody's going to go for, right? So, and it's fascinating. It helps you out. The math is pretty basic. It's helping you. Okay, so. The maneuverability difficulty, it tells you how difficult it is, how far it's going to go, the payload that it'll launch. So obviously a Saturn rocket's going to take way more than a Juno into space. So if you something heavy, you're launching people, you're going to be using these heavier rockets or something, right? There's more weight going up into space. Or you're going farther. You need to bring more rockets with you. So you're going to want those to help carry all these other ones. And you have these in stages. Just like the real ones, they have stages where they fire off and then launch the next set, and it's just really cool. It's funny how you get sucked into it. At first, I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's a lot of math." It's not that bad. It's addition.
There's a lot of math, but it's basic math.
It's all basic math. All basic math. You're not going to be doing any calculus and actually rigging this to slingshot around the sun and time travel to, find some whales or anything. You're good. So.
This is my 111. Like I said, you like it a little bit more than I do.
And I think it's going to grow. We actually have a couple expansions.
Yep, we haven't played yet.
We have not played yet, and we need to get into those because the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, yeah, we need to try it. So what do we have? We have Leaving Earth Stations. Ooh, okay, and then we have Outer Planets. Yes. Next thing you know, we'll have dudes on Mars. It's going to happen. All right. And then our last one for today.
Last one already?
This is another new one to my list. And this one is an oddity because I don't even really need to look to say, yeah, I'm pretty darn sure this will be my only solo game that I've ever put on the list.
Nah, I disagree. I can prove you wrong, but I'm not going to say anything.
This is a solo game.
Oh, that's strictly solo?
Yeah, this is strictly solo.
Okay, yeah.
No.
Yes, you're correct.
Like, I've played, Wingspan.
I thought that had some weird two-player variant or something.
Nope. Not to my knowledge. One player.
Oh, okay.
I like how it has a picture of two people, but it shows a 1 underneath it. But yeah. Anyway, Coffee Roaster. This was, one of my pleasant surprises of last year. I always wanted to try because the theme just looked so cute, and the game and the production I thought was really fun. I was always a little bit, because it's solo, blah, blah, blah. And then I don't remember what the occasion was where it kind of actually had an occasion to play some solo games. I actually had a chance to. And you kind of took that opportunity and was like, hey, Coffee Roaster, here you go.
Well, it came out. Stronghold released it in the U.S., so...
That's why. So it was probably at BGG or something when I was stuck at the hotel with the children, putting them in bed or something. So we take turns going out to play games, and so I got the child shift, and I got Coffee Roaster to take my time off. And this is the cutest game. So this was a learning experience for me, too, because first thing right off the bat here, you should get this. And it's like a plant called coffea. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but talks about all the coffee beans, the parts of the coffee bean. I had no idea about this stuff. From green coffee bean to the roasted bean. Oh, by the way, you are roasting these beans in this game. What constitutes a unique roasting style? And it talks about acidity, sweetness, aroma, and body, and all this stuff that I was like, I had no idea. This is more than I ever thought I needed to know about coffee.
I think you're probably the only person that read that sheet of paper.
Well, no, because it helps you. You're laughing at me. You laugh.
I do laugh.
But you kind of need to know that stuff a little bit.
Who packed this box?
Well, I'm the only one that plays it, so who cares?
Oh my, this is making me twitch.
I'm not OCD, so it's just got the beans loose. What's wrong with you? Oh, they were in those little containers. That's why. Oh, you're not supposed to store them vertically. That's okay. No, don't baggy them. They go in the little trays. Look. So stop for a second. Stop. So in the box, see what I like? I would throw out the insert, but you see this? It gives you little bins, and originally all my beans and stuff were in the proper places. But you learn. I love this game. I don't know what it is about this, because I guess it's because I was fascinated with it. They actually make the coffee making process pretty fun. You've got your gauge on here, and you're learning about the different moisture levels you want to add to it, and whether or not you have the moisture to add to it. The little beans that you're making, and you don't want to roast them too long or you burn them and then they're not usable, and there's all this stuff that comes into play. And the rounds after you start them are very kind of intuitive. They make sense, especially if you actually read the card and know what the process is. And once you know the process, you're like, oh, okay. And I'm not usually one, again, I don't like just grabbing a rule book and learning to play on my own. And yeah, I still managed to screw up a little bit of this the first play, and then figured out what I needed to do. But as you level up and stuff, they teach you here that you can learn from your total score, you can learn your roast rank. Are you a master roaster? No, I'm probably an assistant or journeyman, which means I kind of suck. But that's okay. I have a lot of fun with it. You're trying to do different types of... Oh, here. There it is. I was like, where's my envelope? I love this. It has a cute little envelope with the cards in them. And inside, you have the different types. Like here we have from India, the Kerala Appa. And we have from Ethiopia, the Limu. And all these different types. Espirito Santo from Brazil. And they give you basically the recipe, the amount of moisture you need, what you need to do, the different types of beans, where you need to position everything, and how you want to roast it best to get the most victory points. And they kind of give you a sliding scale on that of how to get the best victory points. Interestingly enough, as they come across different parts of the world, there's different methods for all of them. Plus, the nice thing is, for those of you that are new to the game, they have on the sides here tabs. So here's expert cards, for example, Panama's Volcan Condela SHB. I have not tried that yet. That's expert. But then we have Guatemala's Antigua, and that's a beginner one. That's easier to do. So I'm like, sweet, let's do that. So you can go through and actually pick and choose the levels. And as you get better, they encourage you to try putting in more and different stuff to challenge yourself. But at first, don't do that. It'll just make your brain hurt. Really cute game. I was pleasantly surprised by how much fun. I really enjoyed playing that by myself. So if you haven't had a chance to try that, you should try it out too when you go to a con or something. I don't know, is this still in print by chance? Do you know?
Probably. I would think so.
Okay. It's a lot of fun. And Sashi, that name's familiar. Sashi's made other games, right?
Yes. I don't know what they are.
Yeah, okay. So
I think we have one.
I want to say we do too, because it sounds really familiar. But I'm really bad with names also. So I couldn't tell you which game that was. But, oh, he's eyeballing the boards. What are you doing? He's looking. He's searching. Searching. Will he find it? Did he find it?
Nope.
Nope. Busted. Maybe next time, folks.
I don't know if we have any Japanese games. I don't have much to say about this game because...
You haven't played it yet, have you?
A, I've never played it. B, I will never play it.
C, he hates coffee. D, he's not interested in coffee.
Yes.
E,
it's not a theme I'm interested in. I'm not interested in playing solo. And, no.
That's what I say to that. But there you go, guys. So now we've got the top of the bottom.
It's the worst of the worst.
Worst of the best, sir.
No, the worst of the best.
It's the worst of the worst. That's right. It's the bottom of the. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel with these really awesome games.
50 to 41.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So now you've seen my 191 awesome games. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Ignore Hunter. Ignore the haters.
I didn't hate.
Yeah, you did. You
I
did.
There's...
You're like coffee roaster.
I didn't say that.
What'd you mean about my Western Legends?
The Western Legends was a disappointment.
Yeah, see,
it pained me.
So you want to see more wild interactions and dramatic emotions from Hunter as he reacts to things that I'm choosing that he's like, what's wrong with you? Stay tuned for more The Next 10 coming up in only a few days. Bye.